Welcome to the 2023 PDGA Amateur and Junior Disc Golf World Championships from the Peoria area of Illinois. I'm Grant Zellner, and straight to the news of the day here on day number 2. In a word, smoke in the atmosphere blowing down from Canada, suspending play due to air quality concerns. This is a written policy of the PDGA and other sports as well. Doug Bierkus, Director of Operations for the PDGA, here to shed some light on a smoky situation. Doug, we had to suspend play early in the afternoon yesterday at all of our courses, or at least most of them. A few got to play again. Some didn't get to resume play. Why is that?
Well, we, as you mentioned, the PDGA does have a policy regarding air quality, and the policy points to the Air Quality Index, or the AQI, and the guidance is that number needs to be 200 or below for us to continue play. There is a website, airnow.gov, which is the website that we've been using. It's the recommended website in the policy to use, and we made the decision early on that we would use that source. Even that source, though, has multiple ways to report the AQI. Mm-hmm. So we've been looking at that data, and if that data indicates, whether through a map of different bands of potential levels, for instance, there's a map that has different bands. It'll show you where it's purple or red based on those numbers. There's also just straight numbers. There's a lot of different data there, and we're looking at it all. And again, the policy states that when that AQI gets over 200, we need to suspend play, and that's what we've been doing. It's heartbreaking because a lot.
It's heartbreaking.
Okay. Sorry, that threw me off a little bit. Okay.
Go on.
It's heartbreaking because this is 2 of our 11 majors, and we've got juniors and we've got MA1 and FA1 players here, and we want to get them all the golf we can give them. But in the same vein, we also need to care about the safety of the disc golfers. And I know a lot of people vary on their opinions of what's safe and what's not safe, but the current policy with the PDGA is once that number gets above 200, we need to get people not playing competitive rounds at that point. It's those physical sports-like type activities, those high exertion things. And with disc golf, a lot of people will say, well, it's not like playing football or something like that, but they're still doing a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, a lot of climbing, and safety is very important, much like with our lightning policy.
Sure, very similar to the lightning policy. When you say we are monitoring and we are making the decisions, can you elaborate on who we is?
Yeah, it's a partnership, and when the PDGA hosts a major with a local organizing committee, we work with that local organizing committee, and then we work with our team, and we put our heads together, and we look for the absolute best solution. And again, there's never a perfect solution, but we do look for the best solution.
Are things looking up? Are the forecasts trending in the right direction at this point?
Absolutely. I was up at about 3:30 this morning, and the data is updated every hour. And I was hoping that it would trend in a better direction earlier, but we've also been looking at some other areas that are north and east of here that kind of got the smoke before we did, and are looking at where their high points were and where they started to get below that 200 level. And we're still optimistic that we may even be able to play this afternoon. But I'm quite certain that by tomorrow, all the data is pointing. And again, Mother Nature is, like 10,000 rated, and we're like 1,000 rated. So she knows a whole lot more than we do. But we're really optimistic that at the latest tomorrow, we should be back to normal for sure.
How will this affect, and I realize this could change, but right now, how does it look like this will affect the tournament in terms of rounds being played? What should players be doing right now as they await?
Well, the two questions there. The first is, how is it going to affect tournament play? And it absolutely will. We've got a lot of our PDGA staff are already looking at options for when play would resume, what we could do. I mean, our goal is to give the players the most opportunities to compete for a world championship, with the caveat that we have to keep people safe. And there certainly will be some changes to the schedule. Whether we start at 2 o'clock this afternoon or at 4 o'clock this afternoon or first thing in the morning. There will be changes to the schedule, and those changes will include some early starts. I mean, we may want people out on the course at 6 something in the morning to start their round. We may have people finishing their rounds when it's dusk. We've got to maximize the time that these players can play, and as we restructure the schedule, we'll certainly do that. We are confident, though, that once things get safe, we'll put together the best plan. And like I said, we've got staff that are already working on that, thinking about different options, and we are committed to making sure that everyone that came to Peoria, Illinois to play for a world title gets to play as much disc golf as they possibly can.
Okay, so we sound optimistic. The event as a whole won't be canceled. We sound optimistic.
No,
okay.
I never say never, but
sure.
I'd bet my house that we're playing disc golf this week. Please, nobody take me up on that. No, seriously, if tomorrow we're not playing, I would be shocked. Okay. And actually, I'm optimistic that we may get some golf in this afternoon as well. So, but yeah, this will be a memorable Worlds for a lot of reasons. This will certainly be one of them, but I'm very optimistic that what happens from when play resumes until we crown a lot of world champions on Saturday, that a lot of really, really, really good memories are going to be created. And that's what these majors are all about.
Was there ever any credence to the rumor that we were going to designate the Sears Tower in Chicago as a mandatory and enforce the smoke needing to go around the other side of Chicago?
No, there's no truth to that rumor. So, I'd encourage. You asked a question earlier about what would I suggest that players do. And,
yes.
And the most important thing I would suggest is that they stay connected. They stay connected to their email, to the app. We are sending messages out today pretty much every 2 hours through 4 or 5 different sources, it seems. But keep an eye on that and stay safe. Being outside, there's you want to make sure that you are not doing heavy exertion type activities when this level is above the guidance that we've received. So that's what I would do. But again, keep an eye on all of those, the messaging sources, the app, your email. There's Facebook messages. There's a ton of different ways we're getting the word out, and we'll likely continue with this every 2-hour update that we've employed so far today.
Okay. Candid comments from Doug Birkus, Director of Operations for the PDGA. And as you said, continuing updates coming on this suspension of play at AMA Junior Worlds. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
PDGA Amateur and Junior Worlds featuring more than 800 total players here in the Peoria area and points around Peoria, including communities like Morton, communities like Washington, where we're coming to you from today. As other things still going on for the players, it still feels like a world championship. Just haven't been able to play golf for about the last half a day or so, but we hope, of course, that will be coming soon. Of course, tournament directors here, Nate Heinold and Jamie Kemp, very, very experienced, multi-time tournament directors, award-winning tournament directors, and so they will be here as well, making decisions along with our other PDGA staff members. So hopefully golf later today. We will see. Hayden Henry now stepping in with me as we do what we can to summarize the action that has already taken place. There actually was a lot of golf played yesterday, some groups even playing 2 rounds on their opening day. So we've got some things to talk about when it comes to the opening day of play.
Yeah, for sure. And we got off to a great start with field events, and it's just been so great to see all these amateurs and juniors here. Everyone's dealing with the situation the best they can, but the outlook has been pretty positive for the most part on the ground.
We'll be right back with updates from yesterday's play, including some highlights and interviews from some of the players in contention. Stay with us.
Good job, buddy.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. Wow.
Allen inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
It's always so exciting when we get new plastics of the Passion, but I always end up falling back on the stock ones. And I like to say its closest counterpart is the Buzz. I think my absolute favorite way to throw it is dead straight and just watch the beauty of a straight flight. They've become a staple in the Discraft lineup and also in people's bags, and to know that people everywhere are enjoying the Passion as much as I am. That's just really exciting for me.
Grant Zellner and Hayden Henry back with now highlights from day number 1 at the 2023 PDGA AM and Junior Worlds. We'll start with the FJ18 division. This is the future of disc golf, and we've got highlights from Eliezra Midling coming from her first round. A long throwing player from Hortense, Georgia, won the field events, in fact, with a long throw of 482 feet. On the short par 3/6, parks it. Later on hole 8, a tough righty backhand. OB left, very fortunate kick off of that curb. And this is what champions do. Capitalize on good fortune with that circle's edge putt for the birdie. Later on hole number 13, a low line driving shot. Coming up just a little bit short. Needs this circle 2 look. Another birdie on the card for Midling. And a good look now at Midling's scorecard.
Yeah, I was out there yesterday with the FJ18 division, and Ellie just put together a complete total game. Obviously, her drives there 482 feet. Her only bogey of the day came when she went too long. But she was canning circle 2 putts from everywhere. Just a great story. Her entire family's here, and we'll hear from her with Rebecca Duffy coming up shortly.
I'm with Eliezra Midley.
Right now, in fact.
And let's just start with your family. You're from a family with 6 kids, and 5 of you are playing this Worlds, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did you all get started in disc golf?
Actually, our grandparents introduced us to it. They live 5 minutes from a course. So we started going, and it's a great sport. We're also homeschooled, so we go like every day and just play. And it's great exercise for all of us. So.
Oh, that is amazing. So you came out gangbusters at field events, and you threw 482 at our long drive competition. Is that your longest drive ever?
Yes, by 2 feet.
Oh my goodness. So you've gone over 480. I mean, you've gone 480 and over 400 how many times? Is that a normal drive for you?
No, I usually average around like 420-ish. So yeah, I get up to 480 sometimes.
Well, let's talk about your round today. What worked for you and what didn't work for you, and how are you going to prepare for your round tomorrow?
Well, the approach shots were on today, and the putting circle 2, and tomorrow, just gonna get some sleep and hopefully throw well. I hope so.
Well, what kind of advice would you give anybody out there listening to our interview? What kind of advice would you give to get them started in disc golf and get to AM Junior Worlds?
Just do it. It's fun. I don't know. If you enjoy it, do it.
Well, you heard it right here. If you enjoy it, just do it. So thank you so much. Good luck in the rest of your rounds.
Some good advice there for young players thinking about taking up the game and playing in more competitions. If you enjoy it, just do it.
That whole family enjoys it. They rolled up in a 15-passenger van from Georgia. Like, everybody's here, and obviously enjoying some great disc golf from Ellie.
Over to the MJ18 division, where Judah Kuistra is leading the way. MJ18 played 2 rounds on the opening day of competition. Here's Judah on McNaughton, hole number 3, 255 feet, a very tight technical shot. Beautiful opportunity there for the birdie. Very next hole, number 4, 360 feet downhill. Again, very technical. Catches a few leaves and falls just a little bit short. Now from circle 2. Buckets for Judah. Hole number 9, 255 foot, sharp dogleg to the left. Judah through the gap. Circle's edge for birdie. And in, throwing that putter with a lot of hyzer. Started off round number 2 with a bogey, and then 7 birdies in a row. What a bounce back for Judah.
Definitely. He's getting it done yesterday at Sunset and McNaughton, 2 very distinct courses, so that's showing that Judah's got a well-rounded game as well. He's got a 3-stroke lead over Patrick Yu, and New Zealand's Levi Stout is in 3rd place. So as we continue to break down the leaderboard, you'll see that our international contingent is representing strongly here so far.
Very, very well. Players from nearly a dozen and a half other countries here competing for their own chance at a PDGA World title. Back after this with highlights from the MA1 division. Stay tuned.
Ledgestone. Every summer, hundreds of disc golfers flock to the greater Peoria, Illinois area to compete in the sport's richest and most charitable event, the Ledgestone Open. But what does Ledgestone look like for the rest of the year? On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose the retailer that's as passionate about the sport as you are. Choose Ledgestone.
So the no way. You talking about superhero stuff? That is a flying Kevman.
Back with Grant Zellner and Hayden Henry looking at MA1 action from yesterday's day number 1 here at 2023 AM Worlds. Axel Olsen out at Wildlife where they were able to compete yesterday without too much delay. Got the round completed there on Tuesday. A 1,002 rated player from Mercer Island, Washington. Highest rated in the field, getting things started on the 496-foot par 4 first. Gorgeous off the tee. Little technical forehand here up the hill.
Good shot.
And that's an easy birdie to start off his championship. Hole number 13 up next. A short technical par 3. Axel going to the touch forehand, trying to find a way through the trees. Finds the angle and the weight. Plus a little bit of a break there, a little stop there. Backstop from a friendly tree, and there we go. A stress-free birdie. Olsen would go on to be bogey-free for the round.
At Wildlife Park. There's a memory for you for sure, Axel. That's impressive stuff.
At under par, a 1034 rated round. He was second in this division in last year's World Championship. So only one way to go for Axel, and that is up.
You think he's thinking about that?
No doubt about it. I would be thinking about it too. MA1 leaderboard now, looking at everything. 3-way tie at the top. Axel, Chuck Hoffman, Wentzville, Missouri, and Carson Smith, Worthington, Ohio, all knotted up at the top of the MA1 division with, of course, a lot of golf yet to be played.
Definitely, MA1 was one of the pools that was impacted by the suspension of play yesterday, but these guys off to a solid start. They're playing a Wildlife, and they'll be over at Northwood Black. So those guys are going to be tested, and whoever wins this thing is going to be deserving of it.
Certainly a lot could change over at Northwood Black. It's a family affair here at Pro Worlds, especially in those junior divisions. Lots of siblings playing, lots of aunts and uncles out. Yesterday, we saw some carrying signs of encouragement for their loved ones. We want to take you a little bit inside the story of one family who is here, a couple of players, Athena and Therese Cuevas. They were guests this week on PDGA Radio. Now we get to learn a little bit more about this disc golfing family. Take a look.
My name is Daniel Cuevas, and here's my wife, Arisa. We have Ezra, Athena, Monique, Genevieve and Therese, and then our competitors for Junior Worlds this year is Athena Cuevas and Therese Cuevas. So she has a cousin in Washington, and her husband would come down to California and just drag me out. So I knew about it for about 10 years and played maybe once or twice a year when he would come down. And it wasn't until COVID that hit and we needed something to do. Being able to come back for our second year, the biggest change is that we know people now, and being able to meet up with a lot of the families that we met last year has been a lot of fun to just set up the practice rounds with the kids.
I like hanging out with my family while we play and like just hanging out with each other.
I like to just see different courses and see how they play to my game and how I can improve.
I really like traveling to Illinois because I just like all the courses, like how different they are to our courses in California.
I like to just keep it fun for them and, try to see them enjoy the sport for as long as possible. So like you said, we could be able to be on the course even as they get older and just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, we really want them to just go out and be proud of how they play and not get wrapped up in where they land. These girls are so mentally strong. We're so proud of their mental game and the discipline and the focus. It's just been so fun watching them.
Hayden, leading into that special, I think I mistakenly said Pro Worlds at one point. It's hard not to with the caliber of play on display from all of these divisions, including amateur. I probably will do that again before the week is out because, after all, these are the future professionals of our sport.
Definitely, just a little foreshadowing there for you. The light bulb went off in your head, and you're just looking ahead a little bit.
Therese, one of those on display this week with her game. Therese in the FJ15 division, out on top after what may be the best round of her entire career, and that's not a misnomer calling it a career. A 968 rated opening round for Therese. That's more than 40 points better than her next best official round, according to her PDGA rating. She is out in front in that FJ18 division, or FJ15 division, rather.
Yeah, maybe one of the hottest rounds of the entire tournament yesterday as far as compared to her rating. But, I was out there with her at Bradley Park, and she was absolutely locked in from start to finish. So, obviously, a family affair. We got stories like that all over this event, and here's Therese at the top of the leaderboard.
And on top of that, getting used to talking into a microphone to people like you and I. So this quite an educational experience for so many of these juniors. Really great stuff. We'll be back to wrap things up here from day number 2 here at Peoria, Illinois, the 2023 Am and Junior World. Stay with us.
Whole 18 Worlds, down by 1. It's got to go in.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
You're back with Grant Zellner and Hayden Henry as we wrap up our day number 2 show. Hopefully more golf to be played later on this afternoon. You can follow along on our social channels to see what's going on here in Peoria, and of course follow along with scoring on PDGA Live Scoring. Hayden, perhaps though my favorite part of today's show, an opportunity to shout out the leaders thus far in all of the junior divisions. So first things first, we mentioned Eliezra Midling in FJ18 out to a fast start.
11 strokes.
Wow. Judah Cristro, we also mentioned him and had highlights of his opening round earlier today out in front in MJ18. We've also heard from Therese Cuevas out in front in FJ15. In MJ15, Jasper Worth.
Yeah, out to a 2-stroke lead. Again, a player that took on Sunset Hills and McNaughton yesterday, so to do that back-to-back is very impressive. In the F pool in MJ15, the leaderboard is extremely tight. They played Eureka Permanent yesterday, 3-way tie at the top, and so many players right behind them.
In MJ12, Daniel Mahini out in front. Brooklyn Okrafka in FJ12. That's through just 4 holes of competition. That play shortened yesterday by the smoke, so they will resume where they left off, hopefully later on this afternoon.
Yeah, over in MJ12, there's a Estonian at the top of the leaderboard. Have you got to say that at all this year so far?
I've said that a few times over on the network. I'm sure I'll be saying it again. Nico Forbes, another Nico coming up in the MJ divisions. That's happened before, so we've got that going on again. MJ10 out in front, and Genevieve Davis in our youngest division, FJ8. Genevieve Davis out to the lead, along with Rylan Hag in MJ8.
Yeah, just impressive. Nico, if you don't follow him on Instagram, you should go check it out. That dude is wild, and probably my favorite Nico.
Entertaining stuff there from our youngest divisions as we go out into our hopeful afternoon of disc golf. As long as things can clear up just a little bit, any thoughts that you have going into this unusual second round here from Am and Junior Worlds?
You know, as Doug said, the competition is important, but a big part of that competition is safety. So whether you're playing at a major or one of the 7,000 events around the world, safety is paramount, whether it's lightning, whether it's weather, whether it's unfortunately air quality. There is an army of people both on the ground here in Peoria and across the country from the PDGA and the event staff that are working on this and making sure that the competition as well as the safety goes on, without a hitch. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, I think the atmosphere on the ground here is still positive. That just comes from this event in general. So be sure to stay tuned to social media, the app, your emails, every little thing you can do, and we'll keep you updated along the way.
Players will, of course, have a chance to get out to their courses, have plenty of warm-up time, and players of this caliber used to having to deal with sort of the whims of Mother Nature when it comes to these tournaments. As Doug said also, there will be as much golf as we can possibly cram in, as many holes as we can get in order to determine champions in all of these divisions. So, fingers crossed, and I hope you'll cross them with us. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully updating some play or at least previewing some play as the weekend draws nigh here from Peoria, Illinois. It's the 2023 PDGA Junior and Amateur Disc Golf World Championships. For Hayden Henry, I'm Grant Zellner. We'll see you down the road.